What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Endgame. We are drafting because it's Tuesday, and that is what we do. And when I say that's what we do, I mean every week throughout the entire offseason. Yeah, it's a long offseason. We're going to be drafting every week. So here we go. Chris, what is the layout today? We're going to do our typical. We usually do what, three receivers, full PPR. What we got
Yeah,
going
that's
on?
what we're doing today. We're doing full PPR, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 QB, 1 flex, 1 tight end. So we'll see how it goes. I'm about to post the link right now. Get ready.
What's up, Roberto?
All right, there it is. There is the link. Let's see how fast this thing can fill.
I'm hoping Vikings fan is watching already because I know that what she was saying, like, wasn't able to get in, didn't know when. So I said Tuesday nights. So hopefully everybody who's available and wants to get in can get in.
Yeah, if you look down there at the bottom, we definitely do mocks Monday, Tuesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Friday or Saturday, depending on our schedules.
Oh, look at I love how he's just bringing this up again, Young Money. He's trying to bring basketball NBA into this and do that whole Jordan versus LeBron debate, which is obviously not a real debate because it's like Jordan and everybody else. But anyways, yeah, if you're watching that,
we're about to get about to have basketball debates. No basketball debates. Where are we at here? We full? We're full. We're
say
full.
that for the Discord.
Say that for the Discord.
Which, by the way, you see it's at the bottom here. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, of course. Subscribe. Join Discord. It's active all off season long. The news gets posted every day. Still, that's my source for NFL news, but also can talk other stuff. Yeah, Young Money first by a long shot, still barely got in. But you know what? I'm glad to see we got some new blood in here. Some other people. We're gonna try to get everybody a chance. Ale, of course, always wants to dominate in the drafts. Are we good?
We're good. Here we go. And yours truly on the clock.
You finally gifted yourself the 1.1.
I decided to try the 101 tonight. Nice. Welcome.
Awesome. And there you go. Just like that, you're up with a number 4 pick. You will very quickly realize that running backs aren't first off the board in these drafts. Almost never. All right. I like it. I like the cheetah at the 4.
Yeah. To me, it's between him and Cup. Between him and Cup.
All right. So I said I'm going to try to go wide receiver in the first round almost every time, but not tonight. Going CMC.
Yeah, I think when McCaffrey falls out far, you got to go. You got to go with McCaffrey for sure.
Yeah. Like my other thought was, I mean, if I go receiver there based on who's already gone, Diggs would probably be the choice. I don't know. Diggs at the 6. That's fine. I mean, that's solid. I mean, there's no complaining there, but I mean, I can't pass on CMC.
Yeah, I think when you get outside, when you get outside the top 4, which for me is Jefferson, Chase, Cup, and Hill, that's when you can start thinking about like, okay, do I go CMC here? Do I go Eckler here? For me, anyways, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, we can pretty much put to rest. Oh, he's always injury prone, right? I think we can forget that. And this is the massive advantage he gives you when he's on. I mean, he's week winning upside. So,
yes,
no worries about CMC in the first round. But everybody is definitely going wide receiver heavy so far.
Jeez, I like Kelsey there. That's good.
That's about where he goes. Andre got the 12 again. See what you do with it. I mean, there's still good value, obviously, a running back left, but you could go double receiver and then. All right, got Debo.
Yeah, this is where I feel like. Well, I'll wait till the picks are in to give my thoughts on what I would do here. What I did, I guess, last time when I was in this spot. Although I don't even know if it was this wide. It might have been actually. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think you're almost forced to take a running back at the turn there because it's just such good. It's like what I used to say back in the day. Why I used to say zero RB was so good is because we used to see in drafts it would be like the opposite of this, right? All those blues would be greens, and there might be a couple wide receivers, and it's like, are you going to take the RB10 or are you going to take the wide receiver 3? And people are like, I'll take the RB10 just so I have an RB. But I think in this case, you're almost forced to take at least one running back there.
Yeah. I mean, because if you wait too, I mean, I know it's all wide receivers so far, pretty much going off the board. But if you wait till the end of round 3 to get your first running back, I mean, you might not be so crazy about it. Look, if you're going to 0 RB build, that is totally fine. But yeah, I think I'd prefer Henry or Barkley there instead of whatever receivers are left.
But even 0 RB there, I mean, I feel like you're just giving up so much value just to go. And I'm only talking about our drafts, by the way. Like most drafts probably won't be this wide receiver heavy. But I feel like in our drafts, going 0 RB there is basically just saying, like, I'm going 0 RB no matter what. And just forcing
it.
And
doing it.
Yeah, not taking the incredible value that's there for you.
Yeah, you don't want to go in just blind and saying, this is what I'm going to take at this spot. Here's what I'm going to... No, I mean, you don't know who's going to be there for you. All right, so we got Bijan going, the 2-3? That's reasonable.
Yeah.
But still crazy. He's already the RB5. Already the RB5 off the board before Jonathan Taylor, and we don't know where he's going to play.
Yeah, I might... That's where it gets interesting for me. I probably right now would have Jonathan Taylor slightly ahead of him, but he'd probably be right after JT.
Yeah, I think you still have to because he's still really good. He's still pretty young. The Colts, I would think they would do something to address the offensive line, like something. Does it matter to you in any way who winds up being the head coach for Indianapolis?
I mean, it definitely matters. It definitely matters because you don't want somebody completely incompetent, and you all like we saw with like a guy like Nathaniel Hackett. And look, maybe it wasn't Hackett. Maybe we're gonna find out this year that it's Russ, and maybe even Sean Payton won't be able to save him. But if they brought in, let's say they brought in somebody like look, last year I talked about it with Dalvin Cook. I said I'm worried about Dalvin Cook with Kevin O'Connell. The Vikings are going to go from one of the run heaviest teams to one of the pass heaviest teams. And they went from one of the run heaviest teams to one of the pass heaviest teams, and it hurt Dalvin Cook. So, if they brought in somebody, who's very, like a guy who loves to throw the ball a ton, which I don't even know if they've, interviewed anybody like that. Or on the other side, if they brought in somebody like, if they brought in Mike Zimmer, let's just say, or somebody who you knew was just going to, like, their game plan was just going to be run the ball, grind. That would definitely sway me one way or the other.
So what now? I think what I heard today is they're saying now it's not going to be Jeff Saturday. After a week ago, like, they're just going to hire Saturday again. Now they're saying like, nah, he's not going to be the guy. Like, okay, but what if it was Jeff Saturday?
Yeah, I mean,
can't get too excited.
I'd probably still have to keep him. I'd probably still have to keep JT there, but I wouldn't love it. That's for sure. Definitely would not love it. Glad to see Kenneth Walker going where he probably should be going.
Yeah, and I wasn't totally opposed. Like, I'm not taking another running back, but I feel like if I do wait on a wide receiver at this point, then I'm going to get stuck with a guy who's like a number 3 receiver as my number 1 receiver. But also, I'm fine playing the anchor RB strategy again. I got to get my boy. I got my boy Waddle. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
All right, so now you're at the turn. Let's see which way you commit, because there's still some good value at running back, but I don't know if you like any of the players there.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of like after Walker. Still don't love any of the running backs here.
All right, going DK. Yeah, I'm like, I didn't think he'd make it back to me, but can always dream.
So Aiden asking, why is Bijan going so early? I think it's a little early, but look, we've seen it. Last year, Brees Hall, if he had stayed healthy, should have been an early second rounder, if not a late first rounder. The year before that, Najee Harris should have been an early second rounder, if not a late first rounder. Like, when you have these rookie running backs, and I'm not saying Najee or even Brees Hall that's the thing. Najee and Brees Hall aren't even as good as Bijan. They're just not. Bijan is like a generational prospect at running back, and like he could be Saquon Barkley as a rookie. He could be Christian McCaffrey. Like he could be that good. And yeah, just because he's a rookie and doesn't have a landing spot, and people are like, "Well, I need to know where." No, you don't. It's like Brees Hall last year. People were worried, like, right? People were, oh, Michael Carter. Yeah, how'd that work out? It worked like for 2 games. Michael Carter was the thing, and then Brees Hall was like, "Yeah, done with you. Get off my shoulder. I'm done. I'm way better than you." And that's how it's going to be with Brees Hall. He's going to be a beast wherever he goes.
I mean, if Brees Hall had not gotten injured, he would have finished probably top 5 fantasy running backs this year.
At least, I mean, he was when he got hurt, he was like RB6, and he barely played like the first 2 or 3 games. Like, yes, exactly. He was going to be a top 5 running back, no doubt about it. And people were like, well, he's a rookie. He's got Michael Carter. And Bijan is better than Brees Hall. He's better. He's better than Najee.
That's the thing. Is Brees Hall is definitely the best running back prospect from last year's class, but Bijan is definitely the best and one of the best in the last several years, but the best since Saquon. So, yeah, that's landing spot really doesn't matter.
I really don't care where he ends up. He's going to be at least top 5 or top 6 at running back for me, for sure.
Exactly. All right. Najee.
Definitely seeing more running backs go now. I'm still surprised Mixon is still going that early.
Yeah, I mean, especially with all the news about him lately. I mean, I know they're saying, yeah, they're dismissing it and not a big deal, but he's probably going to get cut. So that should matter a lot because no matter what team he lands on, I don't think he's going to get the same usage.
Yeah. Even if he doesn't get cut, I mean, what did we see from Mixon last year that can make us feel great going forward?
Well, this is true.
Also, maybe because Jacobs is buried in the ADP, but, I would definitely take Jacobs over all 3 of those guys.
Yeah. I think Chubb will be fine, but we know there's a limitation and he's not catching passes. Etienne, I'm worried about, as always. So even I would probably go with Jacobs over those guys. Maybe Chubb. I don't know. Between Jacobs and Chubb, it's close.
I mean, obviously, it depends what happens with Jacobs, right? What is he back with the Raiders? Does he sign somewhere else?
It seems like they're going to re-sign him. You'd think that they would. I mean, they don't really have a backup.
I think they would. But the problem is, Jacobs could say no. Right? If Jacobs gets a better offer from somebody else. Now, they could always franchise tag him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, someone, could offer the bag, but, to a running back with that many carries, there's always
He's
a team.
Still young, though. In fact, Young Money threw this out there. Let's talk about how I don't think he's technically younger. I think Najee is technically younger, but it's only by like months.
It's close.
Which is kind of crazy to think about because it feels like Josh Jacobs has been in the league forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see a team throwing money at him because he's still young.
Yeah, I gotta wonder though. Whatever team's willing to throw a ton of money at a veteran running back is probably not a very good franchise.
That's true. Also, Ramondre at the 4-2. That's great value. I would definitely have Ramondre right now over. I definitely have him over Mixon. Probably Chubb and Etienne. Definitely over
I-
Dalvin.
I feel like we keep seeing Calvin Ridley go like higher and higher. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know.
Calvin really.
It's a little too high for me.
By the time preseason gets here and training camp, and he catches like a 40-yard touchdown from Trevor Lawrence, he's going to be like a second rounder.
People love a comeback story, don't they?
I mean, Mixon's just not my cup of tea. Just not my cup of tea. I liked him last year. But after last year, it's like, oh, now he's older, more wear and tear. What about Cook? Yeah, I would definitely go Ramondre over Cook. I'm definitely worried about Dalvin Cook. Young Money's saying he should be going third round. We're too low on Calvin Ridley.
What? He's saying that because he got him in Dynasty off of me. That's why he wants Ridley to go off.
Man, Pittman in the fourth.
Yeah, I had to pass on Mike Evans there. I'm not doing it.
Well, luckily for you, you didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to take him even if he was there.
I would say Ridley over Terry, depending on who they get at quarterback. Again, same thing with Godwin. If it's Kyle Trask, I'll take Ridley. Cooper and Mike Williams, I'd probably go over Ridley.
Kyle Trask shouldn't even be in the NFL. Let's put it. This is coming out about him already, and he has no path to starting. Why roster him? Like, what is he there for? Is he like expert clipboard holder or something? Like, I don't know. No, they got to. They're gonna get somebody. My bold prediction: bring back famous Jameis, put him in Tampa.
Well, if that's the case, then you'd have to go way higher on Evans and both Godwin. I think Jacobs in the third round is great value. Like I said, I think I would have taken him. I would have taken him over pretty much. Sorry, I'm making a pick and trying to talk here. Do I do it? Do I trust them?
Are you talking about?
All right. That's my wide receiver 4.
Wow.
I guess it's okay.
That's nice. That's not a bad pick, but the question is, who's going to be the quarterback for Carolina?
That's the thing.
Are they sticking with Arnold?
Well, if they would have retained Steve Wilkes, maybe, but now the door is definitely open.
Yeah,
Frank Reich, saying bring somebody else in. All right, how do we rank these three guys?
Ooh, man. I mean, we have to answer this before the draft. I think I have to put right now. I think I would still have to put Bijan after those guys. Well, hold up. I'm up.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I would have it Henry, Bijan, and Walker. Probably how I would have it.
Okay, got my guy. Yeah, I mean, really, you can't. There's no rationale, no argument you can lay out there against Derrick Henry that would stick, because anything you could have possibly said about him last year he just completely shredded it. Like, it doesn't matter how many carries, doesn't matter injured, like, it doesn't matter. So yeah, you have to put Derrick Henry up there. I mean, I really like Kenneth Walker. So I'd probably put him too, and then I'll put Bijan. No, I'd probably change my mind after the draft, and all the hype comes through with Bijan. But
the thing to me about Bijan is the pass catching.
Right.
He's like Alvin Kamara as a pass catcher, but like okay, he's like Saquon Barkley, right? He's like Saquon Barkley. Like remember when Saquon Barkley was, yeah,
Yeah.
when Saquon Barkley was a rookie, he did it all, did everything, and that's Bijan. Bijan can do everything. He can do everything. He's the complete package. So yeah, Derrick Henry's hard to fade. It's hard to put many guys over Derrick Henry because we know, assuming he stays in Tennessee, I know there has been some talk that maybe they could try to trade him and just go into full rebuild. Not sure how serious that is. But assuming he's still in Tennessee, he's going to get they're just going to run him until he literally like can't take another step. Right? So
that's the plan. That seems to be the plan.
That's definitely the plan.
And they need him. Like, honestly, what is Tennessee doing? Is it still Ryan Tannehill quarterback, Malik Willis? No, their offense is Derrick Henry and just stand back and hope he breaks off a big run. Like that's it.
Well, it's obviously not Malik Willis when he couldn't even beat out Josh Dobbs in the playoffs. It's obviously not Malik Willis.
Assuming he doesn't take a big step forward.
Yeah, I don't know. Some serious tight end value in this draft. I actually thought about Mark Andrews when I took DJ Moore because I'm like, this is probably worth the gamble on Mark Andrews here.
Yeah, I keep looking, and I don't know why I fell for it. I took Kittle too early last draft. I mean, I know he ended the season strong, but still, like, Purdy's not going to be the quarterback. We don't know what's going on there. It's not worth it. But look, still guys like Hawkinson are left. He might go soon, but then you got Goddard. You could take a chance on Pitts if you want. I mean, there's still solid value at tight end. So, yeah, there's really no reason to go early if it's not Kelsey. I think that still proves true. Like, once you get to this range, like, sure, I think it's worth the Andrews or the Hawk. But I'm waiting.
I'm definitely waiting now.
All right, that's some quick picks here.
How about this one from Adam? It's got AJ Brown, Stevenson, and Debo. It's a keeper option league, but I lose my first round pick. Would you keep any of these for your first round pick? What if you don't keep any of them? What pick do you get? Like, what first round do you get? You get? I assume you're keeping your first round pick if you don't keep any of these. Is that how it works? Because it would depend. I think it would depend on me. To me, like, I'm not keeping Stevenson and Debo for a first round pick. And it's random. Okay, so he says, yes, if he doesn't keep any of those guys, he keeps his first round pick, but it's random. So I think the only one I would consider would be AJ Brown. Would we rather have AJ Brown or mystery first round pick?
So whoever he keeps, it's worth a first round pick?
Yeah, or if he doesn't keep anybody, he's saying that he gets to keep his first round pick and it's random. Like, so he might get the 112, he might get the 101, he might get the 105. I guess it's random.
That's weird. Like, to me, it would just be AJ Brown would be the consideration. But
it's the only consideration.
Everybody, I mean, it all depends on a lot of things. Depends, is everybody keeping, or probably only the first few studs get kept? So whatever pick you get, you're still going to have those top players off the board. So whatever pick, like you say, oh, if I get the 1-1, well, you're not going to get probably Justin Jefferson or CMC because they will have been kept by somebody else. You see what I mean? So that's weird. That's really weird that it's random. Like, I don't know the order. Because if you say, oh, I'm going to get like the 1, 10, 11, or 12, then you'd be better off with AJ Brown. But I would just probably keep AJB. Because he's a first rounder.
Yeah, that's the other thing is, do you know which players will be kept? So do you know which players will be off the board?
I mean, the way I see it, look, like take this draft for example. AJ Brown was taken 10th overall. That's a first round pick. Are there, are there probably going to be 8 or 9 other guys who do get kept by other teams? It's going to be at least a few, I would think. So even if you wind up with one of the top picks, you're still not getting bad value. See what I mean?
Yeah.
I would just keep AJ Brown.
Yeah, it's probably where I would lean too.
And here we go. Man, wide receiver got dry. Really dry.
Yeah, I'm glad I went DJ Moore there. I was able to get Pollard and Dobbins. I feel good about my running backs. Got Dak, who I felt like was kind of the last of the good QBs.
Yeah, I should have known you would have taken Dobbins. I should have taken him myself. Yeah, why not? You can't forget about the rookies because they're not high up there on the ranking list. So you're going to go to find them.
Yeah, I wish Sleeper would let you import ADP, or I wish they updated I wish ADP was constantly updating. I don't know how often they update the ADP, but it's still really bad. It's still really bad.
Yeah, we're gonna probably have to wait till May, right after the NFL draft.
Even then, I feel like even last year they did like a big update, and it was like better, but still bad.
It's true. It did seem like it took forever. Maybe they'll be a little more on it this year. Yeah, and I'm still avoiding Broncos. I know Cortland Sutton was there twice, and like, nah, can't do it. I'm staying away from Javonte.
Broncos. What are we gonna do with the Broncos? Like, the Broncos are gonna be so tough this year again because it's like, can Sean Payton save Russ? And if he can, then the Broncos are all like incredible values right now. But if he can't,
yeah, then it's the same as last year. I mean, I don't think
exactly.
it can't be that bad, can it?
I mean, I think the good news is it can't really be worse. Like that was like they were what, like a bottom 3 offense last year?
Yep.
I think it can't really be worse, at least.
Yeah, it can't be worse. The guy I'm probably most interested in, I would take a shot, would be Judy, because I think we saw him later in the season kind of come on more. And I've always thought that he had, what it takes to be a really good receiver. Maybe not elite, but, the route running, and that's what he was praised for coming out of college, right? One of the best pure route runners in the NFL, even when he was first coming, into the league. So I think the potential is there for him. Yeah, it would have to be the right spot. Like, it can't be within the first 4 rounds.
I'm definitely very interested to see his reception perception when it comes out, because I know when Matt Harmon charted him as a rookie, he was okay. He was good. Like, he was good, but he wasn't, earth shattering. Because I do remember, like, route running was his calling card. But then when he charted them for 2021, he had like kind of regressed. His route running had really regressed. So I'm very curious to see how that translated to last year. Like,
yeah, and we've heard both sides of it. They're like, well, he had the highest rate of uncatchable, passes thrown to him because he had Drew Lock and whoever throwing to him. So it's like, poor Jerry Jeudy. It's not his fault. but he also didn't do a whole lot to help himself. It's not like he was like you said, the highest rated receiver out there, and he just was, getting these balls airmailed. And it was a combination, right? It was a little bit of both. So we thought it would all get fixed this year. It didn't get fixed this year.
Well, it all comes down to Russ.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we should be encouraged. His own personal trainers and coaches and all that are banned from the facility.
I mean, was that the issue? Like he couldn't play quarterback because he had all these people there. Like that's why. Like, I mean, I get why Sean Payton wants. I get why Sean Payton wants to do that, but I can't imagine that was why Russell Wilson struggled.
It can't hurt. Kenny Pickett
in a 1 QB league. Wow.
Before the final round.
I mean, before any round is too soon.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I'll take a shot on Pickett, and I can always, pivot, do something else at quarterback. Like, okay, I can dig that, but he would have still been there in the last round.
I mean,
so
I was actually going to go another running back here, but I mean, are we really this low on David Montgomery?
He's in my queue.
Yeah, it just feels like he shouldn't be there.
Got some big names still there. Guys, we're not drafting, but they're definitely big names. Still got Zeke, still got Fournette, still got Kamara. Let's see.
Thinking about him. I'll wait on there. How much time I got? 17. Let's quickly scan the wide receivers. I do kind of like him. I would like some depth, but I think I'll come back. I think I'll wait and see who comes back to me.
All right. Not bad.
All right, what do we think of Kyler Murray with the new coach? Is the new coach really the question, or is it more his health?
I've never been a huge Kyler Murray fan in the first place, and after this year, before this year, I should say, I was like, I'm not pinning any hopes on him. I think I drafted him maybe in one league. Nah. Adam Murray, they're talking like maybe he's not even going to play at all, right? Maybe he'll just have to wait the whole year because it was multiple ligaments, and he's a guy who depends so much on his mobility. I guess the short answer is I'm out. I'm not drafting Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I'm definitely out in a 1 QB league, but it's more to do with the fact that he might miss 6 weeks, half the season, and just in a 1 QB league, it's not worth holding on to a QB. If it was like Jalen Hurts or Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, I'd say, okay, yeah, maybe hold on to those guys. But for a guy like Kyler Murray, I'm not going to hold Kyler Murray for half the year and then have him come back from a serious knee injury and hope he's putting up huge fantasy points. I think kind of like, look, we saw it with Deshaun Watson last year, right? So many people held Deshaun Watson all season long. Ready to unleash him in the fantasy playoffs, and he was terrible. I think Kyler Murray long-term will be fine, but not next
year. He just gets by so much on athleticism, right? Strong arm, fast because of his legs, hard to tackle because he's so small. And because of that, that's the thing is what we've heard. The quarterback, the most important thing is the accuracy and the mental part of the game, and we keep hearing over and over again, whether it's true or not, there's got to be something to it, right? Like he doesn't study the playbook. He got it paid, and after his big contract, he didn't take it that seriously. Didn't get along with coaches. And I don't think a new coach is going to fix that unless somebody walks in that's I don't even know that nobody available I can think of. Somebody who walks in, it's just maybe a Sean Payton could have done it for me, maybe,
Yeah.
but nah. I'm out. I'm not interested in Murray. This is not worth it. His upside is gonna be so limited. All right, here go the running backs. Zeke is gone. Kamara's gone.
Here goes the crusty old guys.
Yeah.
Well, we got some young blood in there.
Rachaad White. That's not a bad place for him. I think he's still worth it. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be. If it is Jameis, then yeah, he's not going to dump it off to the running back. He doesn't do that. But if it's somebody who's more conservative, maybe they do get a Jimmy G type, somebody like that. Yeah, he's worth it.
Yeah, he's worth it there, especially. Also, didn't I see something? Isn't that another report that they might cut Leonard Fournette as well?
Yeah, that's the thing. If they just let him go and then it's Rachaad White's the guy, you've got to like him.
What's the contract situation for Leonard Fournette if they cut him?
Good question. I have to look that one up. Clarence saying he likes Team 3. Let's see what Team 3's got. Got Kupp and Devontae. That's good. Hopkins at the wide receiver 3. Chubb and Aaron Jones. It's a pretty solid team. Sanders at the 3. Deshaun Watson. Schultz could be good value. Yeah. Not a young team, but definitely solid.
Definitely solid. So I'm looking at Fournette. I mean, they'd have $5 million in dead cap, but they would save $3 million on the cap. That's not. I don't know.
Probably not. Not enough.
That's not like a huge needle mover. It's not like Mixon where they would be saving like $7 million, or Zeke, where they save something like $11 million if they cut him. But Zeke will take pennies on the dollar just to not get cut. Zeke will be like, restructure my contract. What's up, Bartermania?
I'm going to take this guy. No, you're not crazy about him, but I think Jacoby Myers is a little underrated.
Yeah, I thought about him at that last spot. I like that. He could wind up a good spot. Royland's saying his team is trash. You got Chase, Keenan. Keenan a little dicey. Mixon we already talked about. Ayuk, I like that. Herbert, that's good. I like Akers. Bateman, Elijah Moore, Harris. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't like the Mixon pick, but that's not destroying your team. I'm
also a little nervous about Keenan if these. I mean, obviously they're not even really rumors, right? It was like the Chargers beat reporter just talking about some players that could get cut to free up cap space. And Keenan does have a huge cap hit this year, and he is older. And I would be worried if he did get released. Like, is he going to end up somewhere as good as the Chargers? Probably not, right? Probably not.
Yeah, it's speculation is what it is at this point. Speculation. Yeah. Now, obviously, it could come true. It makes sense, but it doesn't mean it will. I mean, there's other guys they could cut. Gerald Everett makes sense for them to cut him. He's not a necessary part of that offense. We'll see what happens.
Really hoping Peoples-Jones would make it to me. I gambled on my last pick that he would make it back, and he did not.
Gotta wonder if Cleveland goes out and gets somebody in free agency, another receiver, help Deshaun Watson out, because they're pretty thin there.
Yeah, unless they believe in DPJ.
Yeah, I mean, DPJ is solid, but maybe after him, I mean, who else you got, really? David Bell didn't do much as a rookie. I don't think he's the most impressive prospect anyways. That's it. I don't even know who else they have after that. They need depth.
I think I'm going to go here. And I think I'm going here.
Yeah, I like Nico. Because you're too early on Nico. I thought he might take a step forward,
Yeah.
but obviously that offense was trash. So they get either Bryce Young or Stroud or whoever. Yeah, that could be huge.
Yeah, I really thought Davis Mills might. I didn't think Davis Mills would become like an elite quarterback, but I thought he showed enough down the stretch. Like, okay, Davis Mills can be like adequate, and he wasn't. He wasn't.
Just a little better, just slightly better. That's all he had to be, just a little better. And also, you fell into the trap. I mean, we talk about things is not to do, like, lesson learned from last year. Houston's going to throw it a ton because they're a bad team and their defense is bad. Yes, their defense was bad. Guess what? Their offense was worse. So,
Yep. But this year, I mean, you gotta think like they have to go QB at 2, right? They have to.
Oh yeah, even the Texans can figure that one out. I mean, they're not the. They've made some pretty bad decisions over the last few years, but they can figure that one out.
You hope. I would hope so.
Yeah. Well, Fournette's still out there. No.
I mean, I almost have to take him.
Nope.
Mostert.
Yeah, Mostert. Still, hey, why not? Could still be one of the guys there.
I mean, he could be. It's unfortunate that they don't have their first round pick and they can't take Bijan.
That is unfortunate. It sure is.
There it is. Draft Davis Mills. There goes Lenny.
What is up? Rise above anything. Whoa.
What's up?
Always on the live streams. Appreciate you back.
Yep.
Can we do another mock draft after this one? We'll do one back tomorrow or next day.
Yeah, Chris, this is redraft. 1 QB, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex, full PPR. And then Kenneth has a dynasty question. We know we like dynasty questions. Just went to two PPR tight end premium. So you're telling me tight ends get 2 points per reception? Is this where we're at? Is this the Band-Aid we are putting on the tight end position now? It's just like every catch a tight end gets 5 points. Automatic 5 points. Just give them 5. That way they're worth something.
Yeah.
That increases their value quite a bit.
Look, I've never seen a 2 PPR tight end premium, but I played in tight end premium leagues and drafted, especially like FFPCs, always tight end premium. In those leagues, Kelsey, a lot of time, not always, but a lot of times is the 1.1. Okay, that makes sense. You will also, like last year, we saw Kyle Pitts in the first round, Kittle in the first round. I saw Darren Waller go in the first round, which I was definitely not going to do. But yeah, you'll see in that. I mean, how many tight ends would be first rounders in that format? 4 or 5?
I mean, Travis Kelce would almost be the 101. Like Travis Kelce last year.
He is.
What? He had how many catches did he have? 110 catches. That's 55 extra points. And he finishes what? Where did he finish? Let me see. You give him 55 extra points. And in PPR, he was already what? The number 12 scorer. That's with quarterbacks included. That's 12th out of every single player, quarterbacks included. You give him 55 more points, he scores 371. That means the only players who scored more points than him last year would have been Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and Austin Eckler by 1 point. Austin Eckler would have outscored him by 1 point. Like, you can make a case for Travis Kelce as the 101 in this format.
Oh, he absolutely should be.
I mean, not dynasty, of course, not in dynasty. But
Yeah. Well, Dynasty is a little different, but still, I mean, there's win now league. I mean, honestly, you're gonna take Kyle Pitts over Travis Kelsey just because he's younger? I'm not. I'd rather just give me Kelsey and I'll dominate for the next year or two, how many years he plays. I'd rather do that because look, if you fall out of it and you're not a contender at the end of the year, you sell Kelsey for 3 first-round picks or whatever to a guy who is a contender. So, okay, hold on.
Yeah,
Take my
that's
rookie.
crazy.
So this is a dynasty 2 PPR tight end premium. So the fact is dynasty. I mean, yeah, because a lot of the top tight ends aren't super young, except for Pitts, who, yeah, I mean, I get Pitts probably still a first round pick in that format, but
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
yeah, I mean, it boosts them significantly. Let's just put it that way. I don't know if that's clear enough, but in a dynasty, those guys like Kittle and Hawkinson and Andrews. I mean, Andrews, I could see being a second rounder. Those other guys, what, maybe third round?
I could see Andrews being a first rounder if you believe that last year was just kind of a fluke and he can bounce back.
Yeah.
And then he's asking, what could he get if he's trying to sell Kittle? Hold on, let me make my last pick here. Who we got?
If it's Kittle again, who's still pretty young, this kind of tight end premium, it should be one of the top wide receivers like in all the lands. You know, you're maybe not going to get Justin Jefferson, but you should be able to get an elite wide receiver. I'd say after guys like Jefferson and Chase. I mean, you could get an AJ Brown, you could get maybe a Waddle, you know, somebody like that. Maybe a pick with it too.
Yeah,
I would do it for a wide receiver, not a running back. I don't know that I would sell an elite tight end for a running back in Dynasty. I just wouldn't do that on principle.
No. I mean, I think you could, yeah, like I don't think you're gonna trade like I don't know if anybody's gonna give you like Jefferson or Chase or CeeDee Lamb or AJ Brown. Would you take Kittle or Amon-Ra St. Brown in Dynasty in two PPR tight end Dynasty?
In that format, I'd take Kittle for sure.
Yeah, you might have to, right?
Yeah.
I think that's probably about where I'd be looking as far as like value goes. I mean, Kittle had how many catches last year? Kittle had 60, so that's 30 more points. And he scored, so he'd be like 260.
I'm running out of time.
I mean, they scored like, yeah, him and Amon-Ra scored pretty much the same amount of points, although Amon-Ra did miss a few games. But didn't Kittle miss some games? Did Kittle miss games? Yeah, Kittle missed a couple games.
He's missed a little time here and there, but he's not 30 yet. He's still got, you know, several years left. Just the massive advantage.
For me.
That's the thing, the advantage it gives you.
What about Chris Olave or George Kittle in that format?
I think right now, not knowing what the situation is in New Orleans, I think I'd still go Kittle.
But Garrett Wilson.
I do like Garrett Wilson. Maybe I'd lean Wilson, barely.
What about Devonta Smith?
Nah, I'd take Devontae Smith. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. What about T. Higgins?
No, I'd keep Higgins.
DK Metcalf.
Oh.
See, these are the guys. Yeah, this is how crazy this format is, because you would take all these guys over George Kittle in regular PPR. Even in tight end premium, you'd probably take these guys.
Oh, come on, dude.
What's up, Young Money?
Yeah. All right, and then Chris is asking, Should Bijan be the first running back off? So let's say you're doing a startup draft right now, and rookies are included. Are you taking? Is Bijan your 101 running back in Dynasty? Is he your number one Dynasty running back right now?
I think you could make a case for it. I mean, I'm not going to go with a hard yes. Like he is absolutely number one because it's too early for that. But if you're taking, well, he's saying number one running back. Okay, not number one player. Okay, just number one running back. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely taking him over Eckler. I'm definitely taking him over Derrick Henry and CMC.
Yeah.
Taking him over Jonathan Taylor. Barkley. No, I mean, look, if Bijan's the next Barkley and he's younger than Barkley without the injury history, yeah, I mean, I think he probably should be the number one running back in Dynasty.
Yeah, it's definitely close. I mean, for me, it's like JT or Bijan. JT or Bijan.
I'm a fool, but I'm good with Knox. Are you sure? Are you sure you go with Knox? All right.
Yeah.
So got a little bit of time. Some people want the grades, not the grade, but just some feedback, right? We're not necessarily giving a number on it because you don't know. But okay, let's start with this. The number 4 spots. Started Tyreek and then Sun God. And then interesting, went 3 running backs with Etienne, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, and with Burrow sandwiched in between there. Like, what do you think of that start?
I like that start. I think Breece Hall is going to be a tough one this year because we know the talent is there, but also coming off that major knee injury. But I think in the 5th round is where I'm okay taking shots on him.
Like, as far as the strategy itself, the thing is, it makes sense. You say, okay, Etienne, Hall, and Gibbs, you got massive upside there. You're going to have some inconsistency for sure. Etienne was very up and down last year. Hall, we just don't exactly know how he's going to, rebound. He could be 100%. Gibbs, we don't know what we're getting exactly. But, you can mix and match those guys and you have great upside. But the problem is your number 3 receiver, who you have to start 3 receivers in this format, is a rookie who has some question marks, right? It's not Jordan Addison, who's kind of like another sun god. It's not, a guy that we know what we're getting. We don't know what we're going to get from JSN. And then you got Brandon Cooks, and then guys who you don't necessarily want to start or flex every week. So the depth at receiver, like, might wind up hurting you if it's in a redraft league. But it's pretty solid. I mean, overall solid. If Gibbs and Smith and Jigba pay off, then you're good.
Yeah, exactly. Wide receiver might be a struggle. Wide receiver flex could be a struggle, but it's not bad.
And then Jake Jeff, team 5.
All right. CD Walker Jacobs. I mean, I love that. I love those first 3 picks. I don't know if Lamb is if I'm that high on Lamb, but I'm super high on Lamb, so it's fine. But Walker and Jacobs, I think that's great. Judy, oh man,
that's the make or break pick right there.
Yeah, that's the make or break pick. But you got Pickens. Again, kind of like the team we just talked about. So you're starting Lamb, Judy, and Pickens every week. You're starting Walker and Jacobs, obviously. But now you're looking at your flexes like Pacheco, Zeke, Hunter Renfrow, and obviously your QBs could be very bad. Those QBs could be very bad.
Well, taking 3 QBs in a 1 quarterback league, yeah. So one quarterback is enough, and if you're taking a quarterback, looking at the fact that you got Russ late, look, take a shot on Russ. Fine, Russ and Jerry Jeudy, maybe it pays off for you. Then Pickett is just a wasted pick. I mean, you could have gotten a receiver there. You could have got, let's see, well, not Tony. I wouldn't take a chance. Take a shot on a rookie receiver there, somebody. But Pickett winds up being pretty much just a burnt pick. So team 5 overall. Yeah, don't do the 3 quarterback thing. You don't even need a second quarterback. If you look that nobody else even took a second quarterback, you don't need that. You don't need 3 quarterbacks. Pitts, I think, is fine to take a chance on. Your running backs, a good mix there. But yeah, I think I'm okay with the Judy pick. Pickens is fine. I would have preferred London or even Kirk over Pickens, but I think that's okay. Renfro's doing nothing for me. So again, a couple picks could have made it better. You got a good front end to your team. The depth is lacking because of the way you wanted it.
Yeah.
Royland says he, for some reason, had to get Larry Roundtree because he's the only player that has my last name.
All right.
I'm all for that. I drafted way too much Pierre Strong last year.
Yes. You had your first name.
I have my first name, which is, for me, that's rare enough.
True. I think Team 12. We're doing Team 12.
All right, Andreas. Been with us, I think, almost every draft so far.
Yeah.
Debo. I mean, I don't see Debo as a round 1, but whatever. Round 1, round 2. You got Derrick Henry, so you're good. I probably would go T. Higgins over Debo, but look, I'm fine with that. So good start. Godwin, Cook, Deontay, Kittle. I said this. I got Kittle, I think, in round 4 or 5 I think round 5 last week. And I hated it. You got round 6, so I think that's okay, but so I like Zach Evans. He's one of my running backs I like, and I like Jalen Hyatt. So I think it's a pretty balanced team. I think it's pretty balanced. You have some shots with upside, young guys like Dotson, the 2 rookies there. You definitely have some veteran depth here. Dalvin Cook, you would have taken Ramondre probably instead of Cook?
Yeah, definitely would have taken Ramondre instead of Cook. But overall, I like this team. I think if I had one worry about this team, I don't know if this team has a ton of upside. I think it's a very solid team. Like you're good at what, like you have, Dotson, Josh Palmer. You have guys. You have depth at wide receiver. You got James Conner. You got Evans. You have potential depth at running back. You got good value on Kittle. Cousins fine if you're waiting. I wonder if there's this team has that, weak kind of just crushing ceiling that you really need, especially when you get into the fantasy playoffs and your fantasy championships, right? You can't expect to win your fantasy championship, just by the other team being worse than you. So I think it's a solid team. I think it's a team that would probably make the playoffs. I just wonder if there's enough upside to carry you all the way to the end.
Yeah, so related to that, Roberto's asking for Connor because that's the RB3 on this squad behind Cook. Do you think that's a good value? Because what if Arizona just rolls in next year and hey, it's still just James Conner and that's it, and then they don't have Kyler Murray. I think they just run him into the ground.
Yeah, I can't really argue with Connor in the 8th. I think that's fair, more than fair. Obviously, free agency or the draft could change this, but I mean, we thought them bringing in Darrell Williams last year was going to mess up James Conner, and it didn't. It really didn't, as far as his usage goes. James Conner just is kind of what he is, right? He's a guy that'll get a ton of volume, very bad efficiency, has touchdown upside, but in the 8th round, I think it's totally fine.
Yeah, for depth, I think that's fine because he does get the touches, and that's usually what you're going to go for. And so it's a good point, Roberto, is if Arizona really doesn't bring any competition, then sure, you could be interested in Connor. I worry that offense is just going to be worse because who's going to be filling in? Is it going to be like a half season of Colt McCoy or what?
Hey, Colt McCoy is at least capable. If nothing else, Colt McCoy will at least dump it off to James Conner 4 or 5 times. Nothing else.
Yeah. What about Waller? Hesitation taking Waller justified? I had no Waller last year. I don't think I'm going to have any Waller next year.
Yeah, I'm just not going to have any Waller. He's going to be, 31, 32 years old. He had one great season, and he's kind of just been living off of that. And if you look at, I think you might have talked about this last offseason. If you look at that one big season he had, I think the second leading receiver on the team had 60 catches. Literally the second, or the leading receiver, I should say. I mean, Darren Waller was the leading receiver, but he was a tight end. But the second leading pass catcher had 60 catches on the team. There was nobody else there. There was not a Devontae Adams getting 10+ targets every week. There wasn't even a Hunter Renfrow. Maybe Hunter Renfrow was a rookie, but he was hardly involved. Yeah, I'm just not really touching Darren Waller, to be honest. I just don't see a lot of upside with him.
No. I'd rather take a shot on a Freiermuth or one of those younger tight ends stepping up, So it's fine. You got him late enough, though, that you drop him and then you pick up somebody off the waiver wire. You're fine. Guys like, Cole Kmet didn't get drafted here.
That's surprising.
Which kind of surprised me, but still, you can always pick up a tight end early in the year.
What about Roberto says Young Money's got the best team?
Let's see it. Okay. Diggs, Higgins, Williams, Pittman. Gotta like that.
Yeah.
And then Swift taking a shot. Trevor Lawrence, Dylan, Rachaad White. This is like a very Chris 2022 team.
Yes, it really does. You got to love that start. I'm fine taking a shot on Swift there. I think maybe overall, I like this team for sure. It's definitely a good team. Has plenty of upside here. I think maybe. Sorry, my dogs are going nuts. I think maybe instead of Dylan, I would have liked somebody. I would have probably liked Montgomery more, or maybe even Algier. Somebody who I just feel better about their role. Hold on one second.
Yeah, I like it. Algier stands out to me. I almost took Montgomery. Maybe should have. Dylan is interesting only in the idea that maybe Aaron Jones isn't around. I've heard some rumors about that, of course, whatever. We hear rumors about everybody and every team. It's the point of the year. But maybe Dylan does get more work. Dylan did come on late in the season. So I like Dylan at that range. I think I slightly prefer Algier right there, but it's a good team. Yeah, out on Swift, well, I'm not drafting Swift, but I can see taking him where you got him in round 5. I think that's fine. Worth a shot. Okay, so would you draft wide receiver or running back after Kelsey in the first? So you're asking when you came back. Okay, so Kelsey and then got Barkley. Barkley's there in the second round. I'm taking Barkley. I don't think you have to say, I'm going receiver, I'm going running back. I mean, look at who was available. In the first round, you had, 9 receivers taken? So would you want the 10th receiver off the board, which was either Higgins, Waddle, Sungod, or you want Saquon Barkley, who is one of the top running backs still in the league? So I would have taken Barkley or JT there, maybe Bijan, probably not, but yeah. I'm taking whoever the best player is available at that point. Now, you're waiting there, and then you come back, you got Mahomes. And I know we talk about getting QB early. It's a smart thing. But since you already went tight ends and running back, then you waited again on wide receivers. So that's the only problem here. The problem is that your number 1 receiver is Tyler Lockett. And remember, this is a 3-receiver league. So you're committing, you're saying, I every week am going to be starting Allen Lazard and Gabe Davis or possibly Kadarius Toney. That's a problem because Kadarius Toney is not going to be healthy half the time. Gabe Davis is going to bust half the time. Lazard, who knows? Maybe he stays. Maybe he's not in Green Bay next year. Yeah, so that's the problem, is you really waited too late on wide receiver because you went tight end and quarterback early and took a 3rd running back before a 2nd receiver. So one of those had to give. Now, it kind of didn't matter the order there because you got Lockett and then you waited and you got Pierce. I mean, you could say, well, no, actually, I wouldn't say that. Lazard, no, I wouldn't have taken Lazard anyways. I would have taken Dotson. Dotson, I think, was a much smarter pick there. Dotson has a lot of upside. He's a good young player. You could have taken a rookie like Jordan Addison. I think that would have been a better pick. So you could have done some things better in terms of who you got, but also, yeah, in this league format, just waiting too late on wide receiver. You agree with all that? I'm assuming that team 11 here. wide receiver 1 is Lockett, wide receiver 2 is Lazard, wide receiver 3 is Gabe Davis. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, I kind of get it because you look at like you got Kelsey, Barkley, Mahomes, and Stevenson. It's hard to like complain about that, but probably should have gone somebody like Marquise Brown or whoever you like there over Pierce.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't need a third running back before you had a second receiver.
Yeah, not in this format. Not in this format. In some formats, sure, but in this format with 3 wide receivers, a flex, full PPR, yeah, because you end up, yeah, like you said, you're starting Lazard and Gabe Davis and or Kadarius Toney, and yeah.
What about Ailes' team? So Royland saying maybe Ailes' team was like team 10 or Ale. All right,
I mean, Adams, JT, that's a great start for sure. Olave, Ridley, London, Lamar, worth the game all of a sudden there. And then, I like it. He always does this. He does a good job of this. He just says, you know what? Let me just stack up some RBs and hope 1 or 2 of them hits. And all these guys have potential. And Njoku at tight end, I like that. So, yeah.
Always does a good job. I like the Algier pick. Singletary, whatever. He's fine. I might have taken a rookie instead of him, but whatever. Fournette at that 11-9? Sure, why not?
Why not?
So, and then team 10, AJ Brown, got Bijan McLaurin, Jalen Hurts, Kirk, Hawk, Jameson Williams, which is fine as your 4th receiver. I'm fine with Williams. I don't think taking him, people are taking him as their wide receiver 3 and thinking he's going to necessarily, step up. I think that's a little too early. You don't need to do that. But as your 4th receiver, fine. You got Zay Flowers. And then you're okay with the fact that the running back 2 here is either a James Cook, a Herbert, or a Sean Tucker.
Yeah, I probably would have liked 1 or 2 more shots at running back because they waited so long. Right, they took Bijan in the 2nd. That's fine. You got kind of an anchor RB there, but then waited till the 8th to grab another running back. Kind of like what Ale did there, where he just started stacking RB2s, and especially in this case, since he'd already gone tight end in the 6th, I probably would have liked to seen, him stack some more running backs with potential, to help his team. Because there's still guys on the board like Fournette, even Madison, who I think might find a new team this year. Even Tucker, if you want to go with rookies. Like, there's guys on the board, I think, at running back. Just give yourself more shots to hit on one.
Yeah, I agree. Now, thinking about this, because I was going to say, of course, I like Algier, but also might have taken a guy like Montgomery instead of Cook or Herbert. Now, if Monty does leave, if he's not with Chicago and they decide Khalil Herbert's the number 1 guy there, that actually might wind up being a great decision. I mean,
Right.
Herbert could be a steal. He's one of those guys, if you do early best ball drafts, definitely take shots on him. Because you don't need him to be the guy all year, even necessarily. You just need a couple of big games to pay off. But, yeah, I think it's a very sound strategy. I don't love Sean Tucker, but whatever, he's fine. Is Fournette a steal?
At that position, yes. I mean,
That's late enough that you can't complain about that. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. So I know y'all want to do it again. Well, not right now, but we'll usually have drafts, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as many as we can. We'll mix it up. Sometimes we'll go super flex. Sometimes we'll go dynasty. Sometimes we'll are we gonna go? Would we dare go standard?
No, we're never those.
Maybe tomorrow should be a tight end premium 2 PPR. Maybe we should try that out.
Man, I don't even know if
See how it
Sleeper has
feels.
that.
Yeah, well, we'd have to pretend. I don't even think that's an option. But
Yeah.
all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us again. If you didn't get in and you're watching, if you're watching back late, put the notification bell on after you hit subscribe, and every time we go live, you will know and get in there. These drafts fill up very quick, as you see. It's a good thing we'll be doing them all off season long from now until week 1. All right. Thanks for watching.